Welcome to Star Citizen and our top 15 of the best ships and vehicles you can buy in-game for a maximum of 1.5 million alpha UEC. You'll find the right one for every level of play and guaranteed to suit every bank balance. The first vehicle is an absolute must-have and costs less than a standard piece of equipment for your character. We are talking about the Grey Cat PTV, or also called Buggy, with which you can get from A to B quickly and effectively on the surface and also load the passenger. For just under 5000 alpha UEC, the Buggy is an absolute bargain that you can buy in Area 18 at Astro Armada. The Buggy is particularly suitable for longer distances on the ground, for example for FPS missions, when you are on the road as a merchant and want to shorten your walking distances, or simply as a fun vehicle, with which you can get up to a lot of mischief. The Buggy doesn't have room for crates or cargo, but in the future it will have a small storage space for personal items and a holder for weapons. However, this absolutely basic vehicle is not part of our top 15, but belongs to the basic equipment of every citizen. This brings us directly to the first vehicle in our top 15, the Drake Mule. This 6-wheeled ground transporter offers space for 8 crates or mission boxes, as well as the possibility of transporting 1 SCU cargo boxes in the rear and 1 in the front, while the driver remains protected from the weather in the closed cockpit. And for 15,000 alpha UEC at New Deal on Lowville, the Mule is an absolute recommendation and a real no-brainer. Because with this Mule, nothing stands in the way of extended loot excursions on the ground. Here you can get almost everything loaded, while you are also very agile and nimble on the road. The Mule fits into almost every ship that has a small cargo hold. The exception here is the Avenger Titan, where the Mule is a bit too high. For just under 150,000 alpha UEC at Astro Armada on Area 18, you get the P-72 Archimedes, the cheapest racer, which brings a lot of fun on the racetrack with its good flight characteristics and the small dimensions. And here represents the cheapest entry for this gameplay area. However, the P-72 does not have a quantum drive, so you either need a transport or you can simply spawn the P-72 at any vehicle terminal near the racetrack. Our next recommendation is the must-buy for every miner and solid option to earn money, because with the Grey Cat Rock you can earn the purchase price of 172,000 alpha UEC at New Deal on Lowville in just a few minutes, and also generate enough profits quickly to be able to afford significantly more expensive vehicles and ships. Because the Rock already offers everything you need to look for mineable resources on the ground and to mine and collect them directly. You can sell the materials at any outpost with the trading terminal, and you can also spawn the Rock at a vehicle terminal there. A really solid choice. Also, the prices for the mined ground resources are absolutely stable, and with a little practice you can make a good profit in no time. Alternatively, you can rent the Rock for just under 5000 alpha UEC at one of the Lagrange stations on the refinery decks, where you can earn more than enough in one day to buy a Rock and a transporter for it. Our next tip is the Origin 85X, which is also available on Lowville for just under 600,000 alpha UEC. With this luxurious dinghy, you already get all the functions of a full-fledged ship. You get a quantum drive, space for a co-pilot who has also access to a remote-controlled gun turret, sufficient standard armament, and a comparatively fast and maneuverable ship. In addition, the 85X can be spawned as a snub on the smallest vehicle pads at any outpost. And even as a racer, the 85X cuts a passable figure. We get an absolute all-in-one package for 675,000 alpha UEC on Lowville with the Drake Cutter, which in addition to a dedicated cargo hold with 4 SCU capacity and enough room for a mule or a buggy, also has a complete interior for longer excursions. Because the Cutter has a complete lounge area with a bed for logging in and out, a kitchen as well as a bathroom, and then forgives the sturdy basic construction many a scratch. The armament, however, is not a real highlight, because with 2 size 1 gimbaled repeaters and 4 size 1 rockets, the Cutter is not intended for combat. But thanks to the vehicle-compatible cargo compartment, it offers many possibilities, and this provides access to a wide range of gameplay mechanics. In addition, there is the good range, the low maintenance costs, and the versatile use in flight thanks to the adjustable main engines. On the inside, the large storage space for items and the weapon compartments, even for larger equipments, are a plus. Therefore, the cutter offers everything that is needed for most gameplay areas, especially for peace-loving players. But let's move on to an alternative that offers considerably more firepower. With the Avenger Titan for almost 800,000 Alpha UEC, also on Lorville, the best entry into a combat-strong fighter with some bonus features is offered. With a size 4 and 2 size 3 hardpoints, the Titan offers an enormous amount of firepower for a small price tag. We don't find more firepower than this in many much more expensive ships. There is also a complete lounge area with a bed and 8 SCU of cargo capacity, but without the possibility of carrying vehicles. This former standard fighter of the UEE Navy therefore offers a cost-effective option, especially for combat players. The cheapest entry into medical gameplay is offered by our next recommendation, the Anvil Pisces Rescue, the C8R, for just under 900,000 Alpha UEC at Astro Armada on Area 18. The C8R offers a full-fledged Tier 3 medbay, with which you can completely heal injured players up to a certain level, or at least permanently stabilize more seriously injured ones. However, respawning is only possible from a Tier 2 medbay. The Pisces C8R is therefore a flying ambulance, which is ideal for combative ground missions, as in addition to the spacious interior and enough room for crates or loot, the medical facilities are especially useful for injuries or for regeneration. And as a bonus, with every fresh claim of the ship, there is also the all-inclusive package with various medpans, food and water to go out for outdoor use. And thanks to its compact dimensions, the Pisces can be taken along not only in a Carrack, for example, but also in the Starlifter series or even the Drake Corsair as a tender. We can recommend the Pisces C8R to any citizen who wants to get into ground combat from time to time or who wants to get to know the medical gameplay. And apart from that, the C8R as an ambulance naturally also has corresponding blue lights. Blue lights, need I say more? Only slightly more expensive is our next recommendation, the Consolidated Outland Nomad, which is available for just under 950,000 Alpha UEC on Lorville at New Deal. The Nomad offers everything that the Drake Cutter offers, only better and more. With a mobile cargo hold, either 24 SCU of cargo capacity is possible or taking a rock that we introduced to you. The Nomad also has access to 3 size 3 hardpoints as well as 8 size 2 missiles, which is already a respectable and in any case sufficient firepower for a variety of bounty hunter contracts and combat missions. However, for a pure combat focus, the also presented Titan Avenger is the better choice. For the Nomad does not focus on combat, but on the possibility of providing a variety of gameplay possibilities, whereby it does not directly stand out in any of them. In other words, it is the optimal all-rounder with which you can experience the verse without having to make major sacrifice in individual areas. The Nomad offers you a complete interior with a weapon compartment, storage options, a high-quality living area with bedroom, kitchen and bed, as well as a separate cockpit with good all-around visibility. Only the looks polarize, as you either like the Beetle-like design or would prefer to work with a fly swatter. Another bonus of the Nomad is the utility mount, which in future will be able to score points in the cargo area with a dedicated ship's tractor beam. In addition, Consolidated Outland also uses high technology for the Nomad, such as the hover landing gear and other specials. Thanks to the increased fuel reserves, the range of this Nomad is also very respectable, as is the extensive storage space for personal items inside. This means you are self-sufficient for longer, even on extended excursions. Only the rocket equipment cannot be fully adjusted due to the permanently installed systems, but this should play a rather minor role. All in all, the Nomad is therefore our recommendation for an all-rounder daily driver just under a million Alpha UEC. Our next recommendation is an absolute specialist, which we already know in larger parts. Or the Avenger Warlock, available for just under 1.1 million alpha UEC in Lowville, is our entry into electronic warfare, thanks to the powerful EMP. With the Warlock, the chassis as well as the scythe of the basic armament remains identical compared to the Titan, but the Warlock loses the cargo hold, which is equipped with a dedicated EMP generator. This means that the Warlock loses the possibility of cargo transport, but increases its combat power significantly, and the EMP gameplay offers some exciting possibilities. And so, the Warlock is our recommendation for the EMP sector. Only slightly more expensive and also available in Lowville is the Aegis Gladius, the standard fighter of the UEE Navy. With this dedicated and purely limited to dysfunction light fighter, we get the perfect mix of a fighter in all areas. All through they are more firepowerful, faster, more maneuverable or defensively stronger light fighters. The Gladius offers the most solid mix and also represent the standard fighter for the single-player expansion Squadron 42. With the cockpit-only fighter, we forego most gameplay areas, as we have neither the possibility to transport the package nor to carry vehicles or other equipment. Only a weapon compartment integrated into the nose and a small storage space for equipment are available to us. And these gameplay restrictions also apply to our next recommendation, the two-seater Anvil Hurricane for just under 1.2 million alpha UEC, available for Austria Armada on Area 18. The Hurricane offers impressive firepower, as it holds 2 size 4 hardpoints for the pilot, as well as size 2 missiles. In addition, the co-pilot has access to 4 size 3 hardpoints, which can be used in an excellent range without restrictions. The Hurricane is also tough on the defensive, with good flight characteristics and a flat silhouette. The Hurricane's direct counterpart in this section is the Robot Space Industries Scorpius, which offers similar performance, but is more than twice as expensive and therefore not eligible for our recommendation. With our next recommendation, the Mantis for 1.2 million alpha UEC at New Deal on Lowville, RSI sends an absolute specialist into the race at a reasonable price. The Mantis is currently the only ship that has a quantum snare and a quantum dampener. This allows you to pull other players out of an active quantum flight in a radius of up to 20 kilometers and subsequently prevent them from jumping again as long as you are in range with them. But with its weak armament and limited defensive qualities, the Mantis is not suitable for direct combat, but relies on the support for other players. So, an absolute specialist. We come to the next chip. With the Anvil Hawk for just under 1.3 million alpha UEC on Area 18, we get an often underrated and very exciting mix of light fighter, EMP capabilities, as well as a flying jail cell for future live bounties. The Hawk offers not only an extraordinary look, but also a serious armament and the possibility to use an EMP, analogous to the Warlock, which enables additional offensive capabilities. And with the upcoming implementation of the enhanced bounty mechanic, we can also collect living bounty targets in the prison cell and bring them to justice. Our penultimate recommendation is limited to peaceful trade, as the MISC Hull A, available for just under 1.4 million alpha UEC on Lowville, offers the opportunity to get into cargo transport at low cost on the retractable cargo grid. With 64 SEU of cargo capacity, the Hull A can pay for itself quickly, and unlike its larger sister models, it is also capable of landing when loaded. Especially in the area of cargo transport, scaling is possible in terms of the range of goods to possible cargo capacities, whereby the Hull A can be found here in a good range to transport and trade lucrative and rare goods effectively and economically. In addition, this small freighter already offers a significantly increased range and all the amenities necessary also for longer trips. In addition to a fully equipped launch area with kitchen, washroom, lockers as well as a bed, the Hull A also has an integrated escape pod, as well as access to the ship's interior components. The strength of this freighter over others lies in its versatility in terms of container sizes. as in addition to the standard single SCU containers, the Hull A can also attach up to 16 SCU containers to the cargo rack. And in addition, an airlock can be used in the future for ship-to-ship or ship-to-station docking. But due to the very rudimentary armament, the possible uses are limited to purely peaceful gameplay aspects. But let's move on to the last ship in our top 15, the Drake Cutlass Black, available on Lowville for just under 1.4 million Alpha UEC. The Cutlass Black is not only one of the oldest, but also by far one of the most used and most popular ships in the game, which can be attributed not only to its enormous versatility, but also to its strong overall package. The Black not only has 4 Side 3 hardpoints, a powerful missile arsenal with 16 missiles, as well as an optional turret for another player, but also 46 SCU of cargo capacity, with the possibility of accommodating a wide variety of vehicles. On the sides, large sliding doors are of great use, especially in space, and the rotatable main engines enable strong flight performance not only around space. But there are also amenities and launching areas for up to 3 players in this robust ship, with beds, weapon compartments and extensive storage space for items and materials. There's also a dedicated cargo tractor beam in the rear, as well as enough space for multiple players in the ship. You can't get much more ship for less money than this, which makes the Cutlass Black an absolute recommendation for an in-game purchase, as the various gameplay areas from trading, to rock mining, to combat, to extensive multi-crew gameplay and more are fully possible. A general note: the in-game prices for ships and vehicles are generally not comparable with the real money prices in the pledge store, as these differ considerably in some cases. Ground vehicles in particular are usually available at very low prices in the game, but are significantly more expensive in the pledge store. It is therefore advisable to check the prices of the respective vehicle or ship in the game before making a potential real money purchase. And if you are looking for a special ship for an in-game purchase and don't find it, unfortunately not all ships are available in-game, especially as new ships usually only appear in the game one patch cycle later. But what are your recommendations for an in-game purchase? Which ships are particularly worthwhile? Feel free to write me your opinion in the comments or check out our daily Twitch live streams. I say goodbye until next time, see you soon, and of course, see you in the verse.